Okay, welcome back. I hope everybody is back in here, right? So I was talking about how to draw this pentagon in the isometric sheet. Now, few of the students, because of lockdown, you might have left your sketchbooks in the home, and you might have been native or some other place, because of which this isometric sheet may not be available with you. So in that scenario, how can you practice these drawings, or how can you make these drawings? I'll just tell you. You can see over here. So you can do it on a plain sheet of paper also. That is not a big deal. So you can observe here one thing, how to make a use of it is. So if you observe these isometric sheets carefully, if I draw a horizontal line here, okay, line. So if I draw a horizontal line here, and if I measure the angle between this and this line, this angle would be 30 degrees actually. It has not come straight. So if you measure the angle, this angle would be 30 degrees here. Okay, so if you measure this angle would be 30 degrees. So by knowing that this inclination line to a horizontal line angle is 30-degree, you can do this on a plain sheet of paper also. So what you need to do is, for example, if you want to draw a square of 30 sides each, right? So let us say I have a square here which is 30 sides. This is the true length. So this 30 I want to draw it on the isometric scale. You know that the isometric scale won't be 30 exactly. So what you need to do is, you need to convert that into the isometric scale factor. It means you need to multiply 30 with 0.8164. So this will give you 24.5 millimeters. Okay, so that is what you are going to do. So whatever this 30 length you have, that 30 you are going to multiply with isometric scale factor. Isometric scale factor is 0.8164. So you'll get 24.5 It means 24.5 is equal to 30 in actual length. So 30 in actual length is 24.5 in isometric length. So if you don't have the grid sheet, then you'll have to convert the true length to iso length. So 24.5 is the iso length. Now you can do it easily. Take a line command. So in your manual sketch, you will draw a line of 34.5 and the angle with respect to horizontal would be 30 degrees. If you see this particular line, so the inclination with respect to this horizontal would be 30 degree. So this is 30 degrees. Then on the other side, from this endpoint, I want to go this side now. So this is again 24.5. Now this inclination would be 150 degrees. So you can see here it is showing already 149. If you draw it 150, okay. So from this side to this side, if you draw it 150, then obviously below angle will be 30 degrees again. So again from this point below, you will come 24.5. So this angle in the counterclockwise direction. So in the direction of counterclockwise will be 150 again, and then you will come back to the original point and join. So this is the square what you have drawn. Okay, one length I have given somewhere wrong, because of that it has come like this. So you can see that you can draw this even on a plain sheet of paper, but only thing is, whatever length is given, you need to convert it to iso scale first, and the angles you have to follow. This side inclination 30-degree, then this line incline will be 50-degree. I'll just show you the measurements here for your clarification. This inclination would be, with respect to horizontal, will be 150-degree. This line inclination, so this should be 150. Horizontal line, if you make, you'll get it as exactly 150. So 30 from here, then this 150, then this will be 150 measured from counterclockwise direction from this horizontal line, this will be at 150, and again you just need to join it back to the original. So it will take a little bit of time if you don't have grid sheet, but definitely you can practice it out. That should not be any issue. Okay, understood? Anybody asked me this, right? So you can do it in this manner also. Fine. So let me come back to the things where I had left. So coming to this pentagon. So this pentagon, we have drawn it on the right plane now. Now same pentagon, I want to do it on the right side plane, let us say, right plane. So very simple. So this side, I need to go first. Let us say this time I'll do it on the left plane instead of right plane. So left plane, it means I need to start from here to the left hand side of the isometric sheet. So this is the left hand side. So this side I'm going to draw 50 and above I'm going to draw 45. So you need to count the boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 50. Then top I'm going to go 45, 2, 3, 4. So somewhere here in the center would be 45. Okay. So in manual sketch, it will be easy. In software, it will be taking the next point. So this is 50. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll draw it 50, then I will cut half of it again because it is taking some other point. So I'll cut this half part. So I can get exactly 45. In manual sketch, you can just directly stop at the center. So this is 50, this is 45. So same way I can go from this side also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 45 at center, then join it back to the original point. So this is the left plane. On this left plane, I want to draw this pentagon. So on this line, I will have AB. On this line, I will have C. On this line, I will have D. On this line, I will have E. So A and B are 10 mm away from this point. So from here to here, at this point, I have A. And from here to here, at this point, I have D. So I'll draw one line from here to here. So AB is already marked. C is on this line, which is at a distance of 30 mm. Means vertically 3 boxes have to go. 1, 2, 3. So at this point where cursor is there, that is C. So I'll take line. So this is B point. So this is C. D will be exactly at the midpoint of this line. So this is the midpoint. It is showing there. Then again, E will be on the same line of C. So same line of C is this, and then I'll join it back to the A point. So this is the pentagon on the left side face. You can see that C and E are on the same line because here also C and E will be on the same line. So this is how you can draw the pentagon on the left plane of the isometric drawing. Any clarifications in this? I will give you just 1 minute. Please try to. Okay, no doubts. Then let me go to the next part. So I have shown you how to do the pentagon. I would like to give you an exercise. You need to practice how to do hexagon in the same manner. First, you need to draw the hexagon. You have to enclose it within a box like I have done here. Then you need to take the measurement and plot it on the isometric sheet over here. I'll just give you a rough idea how you can make it. So first you will draw the hexagon manually on a plain sheet of paper. Let us say hexagon is of 30 mm sides. So this hexagon, you need to enclose it within a smallest possible box, right? So in this manner, you will enclose the hexagon within a smallest possible box. You'll find out the dimensions of this box first, one by one. So one side is 60, and the side is 52. So this box 60 by 52 you need to construct here. Now 52 you cannot get in the isometric, so you can take it as 50. So you can draw a box of 60 by 50 and then you can locate the distances. So if I name them here exactly, starting with A, B, E and F. Okay, so I want to construct this over here. So first I will draw the box of 60 by 50. Then within that I will mark A and B. So A is at a distance of, from this corner to this, A is at a distance of 15 mm. So you need to construct A from this to that side at 15 mm. From this corner, that is from this line to this side, A is at 15, and from this side to this side, B is also at 15. In the same way, you need to locate the distance of this corner to C. So it is at a 26, so you can take it as 25. So from this corner to this side, C is at 25. On the same line of C, you will get F on the opposite side. And similarly, on the same line of A, opposite you will get E, and on the same line of B, on the opposite you will get D. So you can mark all the points and get the hexagon over here. So this I will leave it to you. Please practice it. If you have any clarifications, you can ask me in the next class with respect to hexagon. Okay. So let me explain you now how to draw and circle in isometric view. Let us say I have a circle of 50 mm diameter. Okay, so I have a circle of 50 mm diameter. How I can draw this in isometric? That is a question. Now, if you take a circle, okay, so listen to my question. If you take a circle, right now this circle is showing its true length. If I tilt this circle at some particular angle and if I project it on the screen, how will this circle look like? Any answers?
Ellipse.
Yeah, the circle would definitely look like an ellipse. So it means that if I have any object which is having circular geometry in it, when it is tilted, it will look like an ellipse in the projection. So for example, if you take hemisphere, right? So the top face of the hemisphere is a circle and the bottom side is the like circumference, outer circumference. So if you rotate this hemisphere by some angle, the top face of the hemisphere would look like what? Ellipse, right? So we need to understand how to draw the ellipse in isometric. That is the point now. So I'll just explain you now. Look here. So if you take this circle which is having 50 mm diameter, if you enclose it within a box, what would be the box dimensions? Answers please. What would be the box dimension?
Diameter, sir. 4.
Yeah, it will be equal to the diameter of the circle, correct? So henceforth it is not required to enclose it within the box because we know that the diameter is 50 mm. So directly I can construct a box of 50 by 50 and within that I can draw the ellipse. So the method by which this ellipse we are going to draw, the method is called 4 center method. So you can make a note of it. The method is called 4 center method. So using this method, we are going to draw the ellipse. So how does this 4 center method works? So just have a look. First we will draw a box of 50 by 50. So 50 this side, 50 this side, 50 this side, and 50 on this side. So I have drawn a box of 50 by 50 first. So the name states that it is a 4 center method. So it means I need to identify 4 centers in order to draw the ellipse. So out of that, first 2 centers would be the minor axis of these boxes. So if you see this box, it is having 2 axes. One is this horizontal and there is vertical. So which is the minor axis here, horizontal or vertical? Obviously this vertical line, right? So this line would become the minor axis because the distance is less. So whichever you have as minor axis, those two will become the first two centers. So this point would be center 1 and this point would be center 2. So I identified 2 centers out of the 4 centers now. So what next to do is take a line command, draw a line from this center 1 to the center of this line. So this is 50, right? So center would be 25 here. So try to understand this. I'm drawing a line from center 1 from this point to the midpoint of this line, and same way one more line from this point to the midpoint of this line. So this is what I have done. From center 1 I have drawn 2 lines to the opposite of these two, which is exactly at the center. This is 50, so center is 25. Same thing I will do from point 2 also. I will take a line command. From point 2, I will draw a line to the center of this line. And again, I will take one more line from point 2 to the center of this line. Got it? So I hope this method, these steps are clear. From 1, I have drawn 2 lines to the opposite of this line at the center. From 2 also, I have drawn 1 line, which is the center at this line, center at this line. Now, the intersection of these 2 lines will give me the third and fourth center. It means this particular point here, this point is center 3 and this point is center 4. So I identified the 4 center. So the junction where this line and this line are crossing, this junction is 4th center, and the junction where these 2 lines are crossing, this particular point is the center 3. So now using these 4 centers, I will draw 4 arcs. Okay. So you will take your pencil and compass, then you will start drawing the arc. So look here, with 1 at center, this line as radius, you will draw the first arc till here. Okay. Then next, with 2 at center and either this line or this line, anyone as radius, you will draw the second arc. Then third center with 3 at center, this point as center, either this line or this line, anyone as radius, you will draw the third arc. And then with 4 at center, either this line or this line, anyone as radius, you will draw the last curve. Got it? So this is how the ellipse will be drawn in isometric projection using 4 center method. Is it clear? You want me to repeat again or is it clear?
Sir, can't we use that tool which we use for planes and for drawing ellipse?
That's what I'm saying. Whatever I'm teaching now, this all is manual method. How to draw it on the paper. In software, you can directly draw this. There is some other option. So whatever methods I'm teaching now to do this, these all are manual methods. So in the manual method, you have to follow this only. You cannot draw ellipse directly in the manual method. Is it clear? Okay. Any other queries? Okay, good then. Now, this is the ellipse in the top plane. If the same ellipse, if I want to draw it on the right side or left side plane, then it would be a little bit tricky for the first time. So just have a look here. I'll make it easy for you. So let us say I want to draw the ellipse on the left plane. So from here, I will go on the left hand side. 4, 5, 50. Same length I'm taking 50 mm. 2, 3, 4, 5, 50. Then this is 3, 4, 550 and back. So I constructed a box of 50 by 50 here, right? Now here the minor axis and minor axis, first thing is what you need to identify. So if you look here, the minor axis is from this corner to this corner. This line what I am highlighting here, this is the minor axis. Agreed? This is the minor axis and the other one is the major axis. So whichever is the minor axis, that will give me two centers. So according to that, the two centers are this. This is first center and this will be second center, correct? So now I need to draw a line from first center to this line at the center. So this is 25 center, then one more line from 1 to the center. This is 25 center. So look here, from 1, from this corner 1, I have drawn a line to the opposite midpoint of this line, and from here I have drawn a line to the opposite midpoint of this line. Same thing I will repeat from 2 to this, and same thing I'll repeat from 2 to this side. Okay, so from 2 also I have drawn a line from here to the mid, and from here to this line mid. So the new intersections will give me 3 and 4. So this is intersection, that is center 3, and this is center 4. So now using the pencil and protractor, we'll draw the arcs. So this is 1, then this has the center 1, and this has radius. I'll draw the first ellipse, right? Then center start n, then with 2 at center, then this has radius or this has radius, both will be having same length. I'll draw the second arc. Then with 3 at center and this line has radius, I'll draw the third arc. And then this at center, this has radius, I'll draw the fourth arc. So this is the ellipse in the left side plane. So you can make out the difference. This is top plane, this is left plane. Understood the procedure? No need to worry if you're not getting it in one time. I'll be posting this recorded video in the group once again. So I recommend each one of you to go through the video one more time and try to understand this. Because if you know how to draw the basic shapes in isometric, then all the problems will become very simple for you. If you know how to draw this particular ellipse, right, you can draw the sphere, hemisphere,